Hello everyone, my name's Ebony. Welcome back to another weekly reading vlog.
Think I know you better to forget her. Certain people made for running. Think I need you more than let you know I'm bored and tell me this means more than nothing.
So this isn't really a reading update, but it's a life update. I just finished watching the last season of Supernatural, and I have been watching this show since I was like 14. And you know, like when you finish a really good book or like a really good book series and you're like, what do I do with my life now? It's exactly how I feel. It's so sad. I'm so sad that it's over. I put off watching the last season for so long because I didn't want it to end, and now I'm done with it. And there's 15 seasons of this show. I have watched over like 300 episodes of this show, and I cannot believe it's over. I'm having a midlife crisis. I guess to give you an update on reading, I've been reading the audiobook for Bloom by Kenneth Opel, I think his name is. I'm almost done with it. I'm like 80% done. It's good. It's very much in the style of Annihilation and Wilder Girls, in the way that like plants are like taking over and you're like, what is going on? I really like the kind of books that have that mystery element where you're like, you just have no idea what's happening and you're just like waiting for it to make sense. So yeah, it's pretty good so far. That's really all the reading I've done in the past couple of days. Today's Tuesday, I don't know if I said that. We had a pretty big weekend for 4th of July. We went to some parties and stuff. We saw Will's brother. So yesterday I did like nothing because I was exhausted from the weekend. So, but today I've been pretty productive. I've edited 2 videos. There's your update. I'm gonna go cry in a hole now. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's actually not really morning, it's like 1:12. But this morning I finished reading Bloom by Kenneth Opel. It was good. I liked the creepy plant aspect, and also the characters, the 3 main characters who like weren't reacting to the plants. Turns out they like actually are part of the alien thing that the plants came from. And so that's why, and they all have like weird appendages. One of the girls has a tail, the guy has like wings, and the other girl has like really long like nails, like almost like claws. Yeah, so I finished the book. There was a cliffhanger ending, so I was kind of like, oh man, now I kind of want to know what happens. Unfortunately, I cannot get the second book on audio, at least not from Libby. I haven't checked Scribd. Maybe I'll need to do that. So like I probably won't read it if I can't get it on audio. It's not like I'm that invested, but I kind of do want to know what happens. So after I finished that, I started reading The Vanishing Season by Jodi Lynn Anderson. I am listening to the audiobook, and it's gonna be for one of my Purging My TBR vlogs. So yeah, stay tuned for that. This is for a new one of those vlogs because I'm still reading Never Enough by Denise Jayden, and I still have to read OCD Love Story for the mental health rep vlog from that series. So, but those are both books I have to read physically, and so I was like, I should listen to another audiobook. What should I listen to? And I was like, well, I should listen to something from my TBR. I just decided to go with this one and start a new vlog in that series. I'm like halfway through it. I have 2 hours and 49 minutes left on the audiobook, which I'm listening on 2.5 speed, so it won't take me that long to finish. I wouldn't be surprised if I finish it right now because it's pretty short and fairly easy to listen to. The premise is the main character moves to a new town and she meets some new friends, but then there's also this weird like serial killer kidnapper kind of person. So there's like a little bit of mystery there, and I'm thinking there might be a ghost. I don't know. There's like a couple of chapters that are narrated by a different person, and they're like, nobody can see me, da 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 da. And I'm like, Are you a ghost? I'm not sure. Very quick, so I do appreciate a quick read. Hey guys, so it's only a couple hours later, but I finished the audiobook for The Vanishing Season. It was fairly short, you know, it doesn't look that long, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was very, like, slice of life, which is a story that I really enjoy, but, like, remember how I mentioned that there was a ghost sort of thing going on? Well, at the end, you figure out what that is, and that reveal was great. I really, 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 really liked that. Like, I think that like, just tied the book together so well. So I am gonna give this book 4 stars. I really liked it. It was so quick and very mysterious, atmospheric. A good book to read in the fall or even in the winter, because most of the book takes place in the winter, but definitely still kind of like spooky, so a good one to read for like Halloween. I recommend. Now I just started the audiobook for Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls by Lynn Weingarten. So both of these books are going to be for another vlog in the series of like reading my physical TBR series that I'm doing, and so this vlog specifically is going to be like creepy books, mysterious books, that kind of thing. So I started this one next. I'm not really 100% sure what this is about. I think the main character's like friend commits suicide, but she doesn't think it's suicide. Like, I think that that's like the main premise of it. Also, the font on this book isn't quite the folklore font from like, you know, Taylor Swift folklore, that font, but it's almost like it just like almost looks like the folklore font, you know? It's so like, I really like that. Also, it is now 5:30 and I have filmed and edited my June wrap up, which took so much energy, but that should be up on Friday, so if you missed it, go check it out. It's very long because I read 21 books in June, which is a lot. So, and I worked very, very hard on it because filming and editing wrap-ups takes so much energy. And there's a reason why I didn't do wrap-ups for a long time. It's because, like, they're so tiring. So yeah, go check that out. I'd really appreciate it. Where are we going?
We're going Taco. By that I mean Taco Bell. I'm just a little delirious because I'm kind of tired.
Taco for you. Taco for you. Burrito for me. Crunch wrap for me. Crunch wrap for you.
Got so much food.
And sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce. Yummy.
Yum.
Look, that's you. Jackson joined us. Yummy. Hi everyone, happy Friday. So I started this one on audio and I finished it today, just now. I was not a huge fan of this. It's like the book is set up as like a murder mystery sort of thing where the main character's ex-best friend supposedly commits suicide, but she doesn't think it was suicide, so she's trying to like find out what happened. But it felt like a murder mystery at first, but then it started not feeling like a murder mystery. There was a reveal and things changed, and I wasn't a huge fan of where things went after that reveal. So like I wasn't the biggest fan of this book. I'm giving it 3 stars, and I think I'm gonna unhaul this book itself because I just don't see a need to hang on to it. I didn't like it that much. I also read a couple of short stories from Smoke and Mirrors. This is also for that vlog, but this is a short story collection by Neil Gaiman that I had read, I think like 7 of the short stories in here for a class that I took last semester. And so I want to just like read all the other short stories that I haven't read yet, and my boyfriend and I read like 5 or 6 of them last night. We read all the short ones, so like it wasn't like we read like that much last night, but we did get a good dent in the amount of short stories that are in here. And I love Neil Gaiman. So far, my favorite short stories in here, if you're ever thinking about reading this collection or any of his short stories, there was one called Don't Ask Jack, and that was by Jack in the Box, and it was pretty creepy. I really liked it. And then we read The Sweeper of Dreams, which was also an interesting premise. We read Desert Wind, which also had some interesting imagery, and like overall theme was kind of intriguing. And then one of my favorite short stories that I actually read this one for my class, but like it's 2 pages. It's literally so short. It's called Baby Cakes, and I highly recommend checking this short story out. I think you can find it online for free, but it's a really creepy short story, really direct commentary on the way that we live right now, like on the way that we like eat animals, where animals test on animals. Like, it's a big commentary on that. So I highly recommend checking that one out if you would like to. I still have like quite a few short stories to read in this short story collection, but we're making progress. Hey everyone, happy Saturday. So last night was very eventful. Basically, there was a really big storm. I have my umbrella because there was a really big storm. There was a really big storm here, and about like midnight-ish, the power started flickering, and I was like, uh-oh. And then like Will and I were just about to go to bed, and then like a siren started going off outside, and I'm like, is that a tornado siren? And he's like, I think it might be. And then so like I pulled up the weather, and then like right as I pulled up the weather, the alarms in the building started going off. That was like, there's been a tornado warning issued. Please proceed to the nearest whatever shelter. We ended up, like, I grabbed like my blanket, some socks, my phone, and my bag and my keys, and like I thought that we were going to go in the basement of this, like, of my building itself, because like I'm new to these buildings and I don't quite know everything about these buildings. But actually turns out we were going to the clubhouse, which we have to like go outside of the building to a different building, and it was pouring rain and I didn't have shoes. So I walked barefoot in the river that was on top of the sidewalk to the clubhouse, and we were down there for like 15-20 minutes, and then they were like, okay, the warning is done, you can go back to your dorms if you want to. And so we came back to our dorms. We're just like soaking wet, and I'm like, well, how am I supposed to go to sleep now? Obviously that was quite an experience to have at 12:30 at night. Like, by the time we got back here it was after 1, and then the alarms were going off, and it was like, the tornado warning has been canceled, you can return to your activities. But it kept going off, and I'm like, I can't go to sleep if you keep going off. Alarm. Eventually we didn't go to sleep. It was a long night. But then I woke up this morning because I was supposed to go to work at 9:30. But my boss texted me and said that the bookstore has no power. So they're like, we'll let you know if the power comes back on. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm kind of just like waiting for a text that's like, power's back on, you can come to work now. So I don't know when that's gonna happen, but we decided we need to go shopping. We need to get groceries, but also I'm getting something very fun. Update on reading. I finished reading Last Chance Books last night. I had started this last week on audio, and then like my audiobook ran out of time. So I just got the audiobook back yesterday and I finished it. I liked this book. It was super, super funny. And it's kind of like Tweet Cute. Like, it really reminds me of the premise of Tweet Cute, where the 2 main characters work at like rival bookstores, and there's like an enemies to lovers, and they do like pranks on each other. It was really fun. It was very funny. I liked it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. And I have been listening to the audiobook. Oh, it's in my bag. I forgot because I packed it in case it stormed and we had to go back to the clubhouse again. I've been listening to some of the short stories in this Neil Gaiman short story collection. Last night I listened to one called The Price and Queen of Knives. So we're making progress on that as well. You ready to go to the store, William?
Yes,
I'm not. Look at all of the leaves on the road.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness. I think that might just be where they're piling everything. Oh, there's something's going on up there. Yeah, these traffic lights are broken too. Oh, the ones on Dodge aren't even working. Oh my goodness. All that traffic on campus, we're thinking that, so campus is right by Dodge Street, which is like the busiest street in Omaha. It's like the main road. And Dodge Street past campus was closed off. So we're thinking that they were diverting traffic through campus, which is why there was so much traffic. Like, how do we even know when to go? This is a busy intersection.
Yeah.
Okay, thankfully we made it to Michael's. It was crazy getting here.
Dunkin' has the longest line I've ever seen.
Like the line goes out to the road for the Dunkin' Donuts that's right by Michael's. Holy crap. There it is. This is what I came for. One of these bad boys. Let's do coral. Yay! Let's go find the stickers.
Okay.
Do I need more stickers? No.
Yes.
Do I want more stickers?
Yes.
Yes. Hey, so it's actually quite a bit later. Right now it's about 4:17 because as soon as we got done with Michael's, Will and I were gonna go to Walmart and do some grocery shopping, and right as we pulled into Walmart, my boss texted me and said that our power was back on, so I was like, I'll be there. So then Will took me to work, and then Will went shopping, and then I was at work. So from like 11 to 2:30, we had power and all was well, and we got pizza for lunch, and it was great. And then around 2:30, the power went back off again, and so we decided to close early today because we didn't have any power. I mean, we can still like do transactions and stuff without power, but we weren't really like busy anyway, obviously, because everybody was staying home because the power's out and it's raining. So we decided to close early. So I just got back from work. Power's out, which means like half the street lights are out. Like there's street lights on big intersections that are completely out. There's nobody there directing traffic. There's limbs down everywhere. Like Dodge is the main road. Earlier I think I showed you guys they're directing traffic through campus off Dodge because there's literally like an entire tree down on Dodge a little ways up. So like there's so much traffic. Things are crazy. We had pizza in the dark at work. It's been a wild day. Let me just tell you, being in a bookstore over like when it's dark and storming with the lights off and there's no music playing is really weird. It's like, you know, like being at school but like at night when like all the lights are off. It's kind of like that feeling. It was definitely a wild time. We ended up eating pizza in the like at the front counter at the store because that's right by the windows, so there was some light there. And, you know, there really weren't any customers, and the customers we did have were like, I'm gonna try to get home in the rain, and we're like, good luck. And so we were just like eating pizza behind the counter around the island that's back there, just like sitting around telling like ghost stories and stuff. It was a wild time. Honestly, it was kind of fun. Definitely not something I would want to do every day because, you know, I like things to work, but definitely a nice like a break from routine. Refreshing, but a little scary too with the amount of power outages. Supposedly we've had over 188,000 homes without power in Omaha during this storm, and that's like a record-breaking amount, whereas like before that the record was like 120,000, which is so crazy. There's been like dozens of fires between lightning strikes and power lines that are down, you know, tree limbs everywhere, trees snapping in half. It's crazy. There's like a little like two-man airplane at the airport actually flipped over because the wind was so strong it like flipped it. It's been a crazy last couple of hours. I'm glad to be like at my dorm in like a nice safe space, and I'm glad that I have power because I know a lot of places do not have power right now. So I'm very thankful for that. So while we do have power, we're gonna build the TBR cart. I'm so excited. I've always wanted one of these and I now have one. I'm so excited.
I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see. I just
We did it. We did it.
We
oh,
did
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah. Now I get to rearrange my bookshelf, which I've been wanting to do for a while, so I'm excited. Before I start redoing my bookshelf, I'm gonna haul some books, even though I literally just filmed a book haul. I have more. So I got The Telltale Heart and Other Writings by Edgar Allan Poe. These are both damaged copies that I got from the bookstore. I don't have any Edgar Allan Poe books, so I thought it was time for me to get one. I have read The Telltale Heart, and I've read The Cask of Amontillado, which both of those are in this, but I haven't read the other ones in here, so I'm very excited. And then I also got Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This one has been on my TBR for a very long time. Not my, like, physical TBR or, like, any written down TBR, but just on my mental TBR. I have lots of TBRs. So I'm excited. So yeah, these are both damaged copies that I got from the bookstore for free because I'm an employee and it's great. Okay, back to organizing. So my camera's dying, so I'm going to organize them by color, I think, and re-put the ones that are still on the shelf on the shelf. So I will probably pop back in after I sort them by color.
I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see. I just want us to always be.
Okay, I think I'm done. Let's see what it looks like. So I tried to go for a rainbow look. It kind of worked, kind of didn't. I really wanted to face books out, so I faced them out. I don't know how I feel about 5 Feet Apart being out because the spine is like a pinkish, so it's in the pink section, but the cover is blue. So I might face a different book out. I don't know. So there's that, and then my TBR cart is over here with all the books I've yet to read. I love it so much. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so I'm an idiot and I forgot some of my decorations, most notably my send nudes sign. So that's on there. And there's the actual look at my bookshelf. Hi, so I am popping in to close out the vlog. I've read another two short stories from Smoke and Mirrors. We read We Can Get Them For You Wholesale, which was interesting because it was about a guy who hires an assassin, but the assassin just keeps making him deals until eventually, like, he makes a deal to kill everyone, like, in the entire world. And it was an interesting one. When we went to see The End of the World, and that one was written, I'm pretty sure it says by a different person, not Neil Gaiman, who is 11 and a quarter. So I'm pretty sure that 11-year-old wrote it. So there's lots of like spelling errors and stuff, but like that's to be expected. But it was really interesting, and I was like, the vibe was like really creepy, and I was like, what is happening? So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss any future videos. And if you want to follow me on social media, all my links are in the description box down below as always. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!
All you see is black.